It's about 12 p.m. in the afternoon, and the sun is blazing as you can see outside. There are only few people roaming around since it's not the evening or morning, and only few buildings standing stranded in the middle of nowhere. Obviously, there is a bit of greenery, and through that, our straight, almost parallel road goes. We have lots and lots of bushes and sort of a forest on both sides of this road. I doubt it whether it supports any sort of wildlife, since I haven't seen any sort of water bodies close by. The road seems to be running almost straight for kilometers on end, without even the slightest curve except for a few places. But the scenery is amazing. There are lots and lots of coconut trees coupled with complementary trees like people here. We have dragging vines which are shaped so that vehicles could pass by easily. Such a wonderful and calming journey. The bus is almost empty. Finally, we are nearing the end of our beautiful and amazing afternoon journey towards Turuvekere, and this is the Turuvekere Kere. Kere means lake in Kannada language. Though it doesn't seem that Turuvekere is a blazing city with lots and lots of vibrant people and shops, it seems to have all the basic necessities, and the people seems to be happy in their lives except for the extreme heat. It's probably due to it being in the afternoon, and even with that, there are lots of people roaming outside. After a brief stroll for about 2 kilometers, I have reached the temple, and it's so wonderful to look at it standing out from the ancient time period, surviving through all the elements' attacks. Let us have a closer look at this wonderful feat of architecture. The intricate carvings are amazing me. Right now, I'm at Chennakeshava temple, Turuvekere. This has been on my bucket list for a while, and today only I've got the opportunity to actually pay a visit to this place. And as you can see in my background, this is kind of a huge temple with magnificent and amazing architecture from the Hoysalas. The Hoysalas are one of the most ancient and important dynasties of ancient Karnataka. They are well known for their intricately carved temple building, and this is one such example. Here we can see the signature star shape of Hoysala temples, where they arrange the boulders in a certain way which looks unique in its own order. The name of the temple is written in modern Kannada letters, which is the latest addition, whereas these are ancient remains which are still being preserved even after the elements attack. Here, it's probably the history of the temple written in ancient Hala Kannada or Old Kannada in ancient script. Though I'm fluent in modern Kannada, I'm unable to decipher what's being written. This pillar is a perfect example of ancient light technology. Like any other temple or archaeological sites which are present throughout India, we can see there is a lot of instances of vandalism going on. Maybe that's why they have put a new sort of wall or fencing around this ancient, very valuable monument to prevent the localites or the ignorance, those who are not understanding the real value of such places, from creating these sort of unnecessary vandalism. They're trying to write their names and initials and stuff like this here, which are really, which are really not nice. And we need to protect, like we should imagine when we come to a place like this, we must be able to imagine how it must have looked during the past times, how magnificent it must have looked with all sort of paints and decorations during that time. There was no plastic, of course, and there was no coming generations at least would try to take efforts to protect such monuments by trying to understand their values, other than just trying to do and go on with these sort of vandalisms which are destroying the value and beauty and the opportunity for the future generations and history buffs out there who would want to check out and enjoy and get immersed in the overall experience of enjoying such places. Unfortunately, due to the temple being closed, we are unable to enter it. Therefore, we can just move ahead and explore the rest of the village. Here we can see a lot of traditional Karnataka styled houses in a modern outlook arranged around our temple. I'm taking this straight lane and I have no idea where it leads to. We can spot lot many modern looking houses standing alongside traditional ones. This pillar is probably from the ancient period. This lane is the end of the road that we have taken and it's quite traditional. And the left side stone head seems absolutely stunning. This is a Shiva temple, but similar to the Vishnu temple that we have just seen, but unfortunately closed. This temple seems to be locked due to some other conditions, maybe renovation or protection. What amazes me about this small temple here is not its construction or the god within, but this signboard which says any person from any caste or religion could come here and participate in pujas. The village vibe is getting stronger. The stone hedge on the left side is so beautiful. It is blending along with the traditional, probably pre independent style of houses. I don't think this town has suffered much changes since the last 50 or 60 years. The road is ending at the bank of the Turuvekere lake. I'm heading on to the shore. We can spot a lot many Naga or serpent gods here, supported by a Hanuman temple at the end. Now we are heading off to one of the greatest temples of this region, dedicated to Lord Vishnu. ಓಂ ನಮಃ. ತುರುವೇಕೆರೆಯ ಮಹಾಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಸಮೇತ ಶ್ರೀ ಬೇಟೆರಾಯ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನದ ಒಂದು ಸಂಕ್ಷಿಪ್ತ ನೆಲೆ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೃಕಂಡ ಮುನಿಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಚಂದ್ರಚೂಡಾಮಣಿಗಳು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥವರು ಬದರಿಕಾಶ್ರಮದಿಂದ ಈ ಪ್ರಾಂತ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ತಪಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಈ ಪ್ರಾಂತ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಅನುಷ್ಠಾನ ಅಥವಾ ತಪಸ್ಸಿನ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಕ್ಷಸರ ಉಪಟಳ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅವರು ವಿಷ್ಣುನ ಮೊರೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಮಹಾವಿಷ್ಣುನ ಮೊರೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಶ್ರೀ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಬೇಟೆ ಆಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದು ರಾಕ್ಷಸರನ್ನ ಸಂಹಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗೆ ಅನ್ವರ್ಥವಾಗಿ ಬೇಟೆರಾಯ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಅಂತ ಹೆಸರು ಬಂತು. ಋಷಿಮುನಿಗಳು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲೇ ನೆಲೆ ನಿಲ್ಲಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಒಪ್ಪಿಗೆ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ. ಕಡೆಗೆ ಒಪ್ಪಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಕಲ್ಲು ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಇದೇ ಕಲ್ಲು ಹಾಕ್ತಾನೆ. ಇದು ಯಾರು ಕೆತ್ತನೆ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಿಗ್ರಹ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು ಕಲ್ಲು ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಕಲ್ಯಾಣಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮತೀರ್ಥ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಕಲ್ಯಾಣಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ವಾಸವಾಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಆಗಿನ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮದೇವರು ಅಂಗರ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪಕ್ಷಿ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿನಿತ್ಯ ಬಂದು ದ್ವಾಪರ ಗ್ರಂಥದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ. And he is the priest of this temple who has benevolently agreed to tell me about the history of the temple, which you have just heard in Kannada language, which is the local language of this place. This is a very ancient piece of artifact, a sort of a court from the Vijayanagara times, which has survived hundreds of years of elements. And it seems to be wonderful witnessing and being able to videograph that. And thanks to the Pandit for allowing me to freely roam around the temple and videograph everything. The tower of the temple stands tall and proud under the blazing sun as I'm about to say goodbye to the town of Turuvekere. It was such a wonderful experience, and I am slowly going to board the bus and go back to my village, Nettur. Thank you, Turuvekere, for such